Mr. Lynch, lives will be like forever. Good morning, Mr. Simply, or 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 simply, David. Is there not Lynch? It's November. It's November 26th, 2025, and it's Wednesday in Naples. We are at Lee Claudio once again. Questo contando bella atmosfera. Lee Claudio at the moment messa versus West more greeting, but and at the moment also seems to now only for the moment. At it's early afternoon. It's 13 and 35. 51 lit Fahrenheit 11 Celsius, and this means it's really soft, like this is soft, as gadget resources for the autumn to spring periods, so step also for your sequence, because the effect, the channel for years on last June 17, for years, so effect, we really pass for years for the reports regarding past last summer, as well, summer, and follow me in the past summer, I think of body, also effect. Chunks cui entra Newton, 9 factors for Newton, for just for the reports. Obviously not for the other seasons. The winter, spring is later in the season, they are still 3 years. And if less than a month we enter the winter, and also for the winter become obviously 4 years. So the reports as perhaps someone no remember I think about it, somebody which I suppose indeed, I'm sure. But what I see the dream things the same. It's my proposal, perché io ho scelto it's better no perhaps a paradox for you. For me, I didn't do integral operations for the winter, spring, summer, this factor for the winter, so it's adjective cold, for the spring, one second, the adjective soft, for the summer, the adjective hot, so that's in general. For the season, sorbire, as a classic adjective, as a guardian in green, that is for me. Questo è una fine così, assolutamente incomplete, better surely in this period, because consider two passages, just consider for 2 reasons. The first one consists in the passage from the summer to the autumn, and the second one, most important, last definitive change of temperature in the Greece after many weeks ago, and which now the air it's completely pleasant, it's completely changed and it's completely pleasant. If not pleasant, very really good, and with the air I mean the same temperature in the Greece, so the sum of all these things makes the condition, situation completely, repeat, if not pleasant, really good, but pleasant, this for me because I don't feel cold like other people, and when I come in the winter, I explain better this thing. I already explained in the past years, in the past winter weather reports. So yes, now I'll explain this thing once again when it come, repeat, when it come in the winter, next winter. So, in fact, I think that from an outlet, other people think, feel cold, from an outlet, think of yes or no. This depends on them. Or in general, for me, was good. Sì, hanno fatto scatto in general, absolutely. I can say this meeting is just for it's really bad, at least teams can be free, some functions. Magari after, I think at temperature disease, repeat as just before. 59, no, 51 in 85 at 11 Celsius. But important thing is to fear that and she will. So before the visa. Essa dresse cortina, sono se cortina in genere, se mi riviene sempre a misciare al mest perfetto, se si suppose, fa che non sono andato a ripetere this sky, the same sky is except from Sunday, the same was sky since yes, practically last Wednesday or Tuesday, the weeks, previous week, and it's totally cloudy, materially cloudy, so in one, even if there is one of today it's less than the one of yesterday and 2 days ago, particolari esteri. According, just considering the trend of last year, according to consider what read consider my sensation settings, it's not sure that later at the game ink dark blacker and also at material in front of you and in front of it in really close. Let's say we see what happens. As well as in W su intervention so Richard, si possibilissimo in clears come scheme today, richiaro. Not strategic. Beta. So, se gli from I dico, quindi the new white curtain, green flowers and longer flowers mixed between the plants is a new curtain. That's the number one. It was also the birthday of the previous curtain, beautiful grey with beautiful painted meshes. To depend this passage from this new curtain, from the old curtain to the new curtain, other things, read the words I wrote in point 2 of comment 1, first comment, or perhaps also the fourth or third point, as the fourth point of in the comment section. I don't know if you can see it really well from the shots in Benjamin think of yes. Green flowers, longer flowers and longer flowers mixed between plants. Or if not also from the side, I think even better. It is practically the first part of the video to which I showed you the atmosphere, the sky, the weather from the window. Or also from this other practically it's similar to the classical shot film more than 3 seconds for the green shooter, perhaps also for the first curtain, colored curtain. Don't remember exactly, and among other things the colored curtain is also in the cover image of the still in the cover image of the channel. I'm always miss to change it some more I surely one time I will do this thing and surely film for the curtain previous and also now I see to this shot is also related this effect the fact that both when reset the green reshoot and also when reset but more when reset because the effect is measure now I see the little special sentence pratically some little special sentences I use in fact also for the so in this case for the grey curtain but also in this case perhaps also for the first curtain the curtain I don't remember but surely for the grey curtain now now I once again I'll say this little special sentence also for the new curtain and this little special sentence is but also always better visible for me it's sentire in this shot attenzione si immagine shot una serie di asciughe di un'attività per persone che a lei delle similità special sentence for the curtain repeat once again it is but also always better visible for me in its entirety here in this shot at the mega region shot and finally from a medical keyboard Magic 614 PG 625 also in this case region shot questi molto people for the facendo di persone essere legati in natura non sono bene esiste sono myself attraverso le schiese and finally I hope you will get the breakfast today it's in general most of us fact me see lite mer för oss att det borde importa sig att vi får ju fundera på det så men alltså det är det så en facken breakfast fintene så vet certo vita fintene parte med det fu su este så finché tre regole si regole se me non so se tre il suo sergio today I repeat close, today close as I got there, little summoners. They're just roll you just include 13 and 34 minutes. That important thing to show see I'm attention me also the first one is I'm really angry. And as we always see like sono most beautiful things left over. Absolutely. As you know since many months fan, sono shots. My favorite biscuits. As you know since many months I think most 1 year is also going to think effect of reason Friday, but this should be the time in the period where I promised to do it. I promised to do it one time. So now in time I check better you. But since they told me I started to say all these things and from this other non so si che se inizia giochi poi sono talking about most 1 year. Adesso pensiamo in questo new. Personalizzata my favorite biscuits that are beautiful combos with beautiful biscuits that's yes I think it's one of my favorite types of biscuits that chocolate chip cookies or the cookies with the chips chocolate or chocolate chips and if I'm not mistaken also favorite biscuits of Mr. Lynch and that in particular there are two things that you say red and the rest first one but the Milk Factory so short only get it coffee but also with quick chocolate factors and the short fragment in the short and if last 10, 11 also si chiede most 1 year adesso si chiede should be time the period I also sto conto se non darci 4 there was no money it's quick definition now there is 1 second we brought it 1 second I think 103 and 4 and 5 yes this is sure so si chiede should be this time the period also sto conto se non darci 4 è 105 days and so since that moment I Patra inserted it once again in the milk, so very good news. And within this also the fact that because breakfast rosa bomb is a period in particular a bomb. And if for this case the last period is a joke because we're talking about most money, but in some way was so of course I'm referring to first time to that period, but in some way also means the tool Nicholas breakfast rosa mega bomb. And second thing is about CS and if the Arab CS and Con and Italian see that's me that in questa position. Then magari teams lettere metodi su because at the first position for me Alabama Italian see that's my question I do recommend them to you because they are really super bad. Adesso tomorrow se potete fare lei perché non si tomorrow quello che le abbia sì